Microphone check, check.
Check 1 2, check 1 2.
Microphone check.
Check 1 2, check 1 2.
Alright, we in there. Yep, we rolling. Alright, so welcome to another episode of the Perspective Podcast. My name is Marty Lee, aka Marty Manziel. Today I have a very, very special guest in the house tonight, and I have been dying to do a podcast with. This is one of my favorite people from high school ever, and I'm not just saying that because he's here.
Appreciate
it. But today I have Gabriel Texada in the house. Do they still call you?
Here, man. This year's in the making.
Years.
Talk about this on Twitter.
Yeah, Twitter, DMs, scheduling problems, mostly because of because of me.
Man, we both busy, man.
Yeah,
making moves out here.
That's the truth. Gabe, what's good, my brother? What's going on?
Nothing much, man. Just living life, enjoying time of the year, football season getting kicked off.
Yeah, it is.
We got basketball coming up.
It seems like basketball don't stop, huh?
Basketball doesn't stop, no.
Yeah.
Basketball never stops. Nike was saying that a few years ago.
It is what it is.
Year round now, they dominate the headlines.
Yeah, they do.
So I'm happy for football season, but I will be happy when basketball comes back around.
Church.
That's my love now. Is basketball.
What about baseball? Because I know you was nice with it.
That was my first love, but man, they kind of
came and went.
They ain't do me right.
Came and went.
Honestly. Came and went.
Yeah, that's what. So, with Gabe is one of those special people to me because, first of all, I met Gabe in high school.
Yeah.
I met him my sophomore year whenever I transferred to Ash from Grace, and Gabe was one of the first people to just ever embrace me out of anybody that was around. Just even the older seniors, the juniors, everybody around. Like Gabe was the first one to just come up, say, "Yo, I'm Gabe. Whatever you need, stick by me. Yeah. I got you." And that relationship has stayed the same.
Yeah, man. I could tell you always was solid, man. You had the fro back then.
I did.
I said, you was your own person.
Yeah.
So that's what I like, man. You was genuine. So
most definitely.
Try to be that myself.
Most definitely. And I love competing against you. I loved it.
Oh, I'm a competitor.
So. I loved it. I loved everything about it because Gabe played hard. If y'all have ever played against Gabe in anything, whether if it's basketball, it might have been football, it might have been gaming.
Yeah, everything.
Who knows? He's a competitor.
Yeah, man, I led the state in charges, man. Everybody mess with me still to this day. I used to average about 3-4 charges a game.
Let's talk about it because he was the first one to willingly take charges.
Yeah, I was dumb, young and dumb. Should have got dunked on a few times, but it all worked out for me. I ain't up on YouTube or nothing, so I'm good.
Phil ended up on one.
Oh, yeah. I look at that once a year.
Yeah.
Markel Brown.
Yes, indeed. But, so, Gabe, let's fast track a lot of people here. Big Spurs fan.
Big Spurs fan.
Saints fan?
That's tricky, man. I am. I pull for him. Mm-hmm. But they hurt me as a child. Aaron Brooks.
Come on.
He hurt me, man. I didn't watch the Saints for 2 years when I was younger because he was smiling. He'd throw picks, fumbles.
Yeah.
But I do pull for him. I was hurt this last year and the year before the Minnesota Miracle.
It hurts.
So I'm a Saints. I say I'm a Saints fan, but I just try to watch the games and don't put my emotions into it because every time I do, I get let down.
It hurts you. It's like a serious stab.
Oh, boy, it was tough.
So
the refs got us this time.
So, man. So, I grew up in a Saints household, but for some reason I just gravitated to the Raiders. That's why the headphones are
here. Yeah, I've seen that.
So, I mean, for me, I guess it's because I'm a Miami Hurricane fan, too.
I was a Hurricanes fan growing up.
The Hurricane thing and the Raider thing, they just seem to go hand in hand.
Yeah, they were the outlaws and, go against the grain.
Exactly. And then at the end of the day, it's so many different teams in all sports.
Right.
Why just particularly be a fan of just one, especially in one conference? Like,
that's true.
Raiders are on my team for the AFC. I grew up in a Saints household, so I'm going to hold them down for the NFC.
Yeah.
But you'll see more Raiders stuff in my house more than anything.
Right.
Basketball. We talked about basketball, and Gabe is one of 2 Spurs fans that I know in my entire life. And
it was rough for us right now, man.
Oh, but
we're going to get to it. I'm very emotional about Toronto winning the championship.
Because I know it's different.
Oh, man. It was rough, man. It was bittersweet.
Yeah?
Yeah, but we'll get into that.
How did you feel whenever... Well, first, let's backtrack. NBA Finals against the Heat. This is the year the air conditioner broke in the.
Oh yeah,
Spurs.
we won that year.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I thought you were about to go to the year before. I have not watched the Ray Allen 3 since then.
And that's so that okay. So I got him.
Yeah, the Ray Allen 3 was first.
Okay, the Ray Allen 3 was first.
Yeah, that's when Ginobili missed the free throw and Kawhi missed the free throw, and then we had a Chris Bosh rebound to the corner 3 from Ray Allen. I haven't watched it since.
The series before that, like the series right before that, that sequence of events, Tony Parker hits like a insane floater. Yeah. Insane floater. And I'm like, that's game. Yeah. That's game over.
I would like to say in Game 6, I think Bosh fouled Danny Green in the corner, though.
I would truly believe that.
But we'll let that slide because Duncan missed a little layup in Game 7. We still had Game 7, but it was tough.
Nah, Timmy. Come on, Timmy.
He coaching now, so he back.
Yeah, he is.
Maybe
I knew he wouldn't be gone for long.
Yeah, it's kind of weird to me.
Yeah.
I didn't expect it.
Because Tim's so quiet.
Yeah, very quiet. Known to shop at Old Navy all the time. A recluse, introvert. So I would have thought, Ginobili would come back before Timmy, but Ginobili just retired. So, but
absolutely,
we'll see what he does, man. He's very cerebral.
Yeah, he is.
Very smart player, big fundamental. So hopefully, that kind of helps us this year. Mm-hmm. I love our roster, but man, it's just wide open now. Mm-hmm. All these dynamic duos, man. I don't know if DeMar and LaMarcus gonna get the job done, but I'm hoping for the best.
I don't know. You can't believe everything that you see on the internet.
All right.
But I saw where Dame and LaMarcus had a conversation about LaMarcus coming back.
Yeah, going back to Portland.
And I have a soft spot in my heart for Portland because Brandon Roy was my favorite player.
Oh, I used to do work with Brandon Roy.
My favorite players growing up after MJ, AI, T-Mac, Brandon Roy,
right,
Derrick Rose.
You got the injury people,
and that.
Brandon Roy would have been. I mean, if he wouldn't ever got hurt, now I hate to be Rose. Like I think he's totally disrespected nowadays. I mean, it's gotten better the past year or two.
Yeah.
But man, if he would have ever got hurt, who knows how the league would be right now?
Right.
He was coming.
Yeah, he was. Because that might have been 14, or that might have been 12, somewhere up in that mix. But that year, whenever we had Joakim Noah, Carlos Boozer, and I absolutely cannot stand Carlos Boozer. But
a lot of people can't.
But that elbow jumper for him was automatic every time.
It was money.
It's kind of like Tim off the glass.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
When he got the backboard shot, it was over with.
So I'm like, okay, we look right, but we was missing one piece, right? Yeah. And it's kind of ironic that we're having this conversation because Carmelo was on First Take this morning.
Yeah, I watched the whole interview today.
And I was pulling for Melo to sign with us. Then the Knicks threw him so much money.
Yeah, he said he couldn't leave that bread.
It's like, bro.
That's all y'all missing was a wing player.
We just needed one piece.
Just a wing player.
One piece.
A wing scorer.
We would have had a championship under Tibbs, and it would have been beautiful.
Yeah, it could have changed the whole course.
It would have changed everything. Because at that point, you would have had Miami versus Chicago, because nobody in the East was really there at the
Pacers
time.
A few years.
Pacers were there. The Danny Granger and young Paul George.
David West Hilbert, George Hill, Lance. He had that team. But other than that, man, I might be drawing a blank. That's like that was the only two teams. The Knicks,
and then
the
back end of that Boston team,
because
they were still around.
They were still around.
Well, they were the Nets at that time because pretty much the whole franchise got traded to Brooklyn.
Yeah, you had the Nets, you had Boston, kind of. I don't know, man. I just it could have been, man.
Yeah, I know.
Brandon Roy too.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I love that Portland team. I was psyched when LaMarcus came to the Spurs.
Mm-hmm.
I was somebody I always drafted first in my 2K drafts and things of that nature.
Mm-hmm.
Love LaMarcus game. I like Batum, Wesley Matthews. I just think that was a great,
It was a good tandem.
That was a great tandem.
Hey, had bench players. Steve Blake was coming off the bench. He was real serviceable. Yeah. Super serviceable. And it was smooth. Everything was like super smooth. And the league was totally different at that time. It was more of pure structure.
Right.
Versus then it went from pure structure of a team, your full bench, you might have had one star, you might have had two.
Yeah.
But the last team to really win an NBA championship with one pure star was that Mavericks team with Dirk. Whenever they first took out the Heat.
Yeah, and I say the Pistons team might even did they have a star?
The Pistons.
When you talking about we going back a different little generation, but the last Dallas that was probably it. I mean Jason Terry wasn't a star. I mean he played up to star level.
How did LeBron let Jason Terry and JJ Barea?
Yeah, Barea went crazy too.
Like how did LeBron do that? I don't know. I love LeBron.
He wasn't ready yet.
I love LeBron.
He's still learning to be a winner, I guess.
So for the majority of the people that are listening here, the majority of this is going to be like a sports talk. We're definitely going to get into the things that Gabe does too, but me and Gabe, we haven't had a chance to really just rap about sports in many moons. So that's what this is here. So, okay, you have the structures of teams, then it went to super teams.
Yeah.
Now it looks like we're in the duo era. NBA Jam.
Yeah.
So you have KD and Kyrie in Brooklyn.
Right.
We'll see that next year in 2020, the 2020 season. We got Russ and James in Houston.
Yeah.
You still have Clay and Steph in the Bay Area. You got PG and you got Kawhi.
It's crazy.
With the Clippers of all teams. And 10 years ago, 5 years, no, I would say about 7 years ago, you would have never mentioned the Clippers at all on any of this.
Nope.
You got LeBron and AD. That's a really ugly match, but I think LeBron's smart enough to
I gotta see that one because LeBron turns a big man into shooters and stuff. So I don't know if LeBron gonna take a step back or. I mean, people say he might play point guard, but he's been the point guard all his career, but we'll see, man. I want to see how the spacing and everything is going to be out there. And
yeah.
That's a crazy. I got to see that one.
Same.
Yeah.
And I have my list of teams of the future.
Okay.
I would say within the next, let's say, 3 years. I have my list. And should I share my list first? Or
you can share your list.
My teams of the future is the Kings.
How many you naming?
4 or 5.
Okay.
The Kings.
Like them.
The Nuggets. The Pelicans.
Yeah.
I think the Pacers are going to be really, really good down the line. The Mavericks are going to be really good too.
Oh, yeah, Mavericks scary.
So those are really like my 5. And I mean, I respect Giannis, but I feel like he is a deer. You know what I'm saying? He's straight to the rim every time. He's eventually going to develop a jumper, but until then, these are my immediate teams. So the Pelicans, the Mavs, the Pacers, the Nuggets, and the Kings.
I agree with those. I think the Pelicans are going to be scary. I think they'll be it's going to be a scrappy bunch this year.
Yeah, they are.
They have a lot of great pieces. They'll be able to get up and down. I think Drew Holiday's going to be playing the 2.
Yeah.
So it's going to be crazy. I do like the Kings with De'Aaron Fox and Bagley.
Yeah.
I think those are good pieces along with Buddy Hield.
Marksman.
The Pacers, they just got Brogdon. They have Oladipo back. Who else did you name?
The Mavs.
Oh, yeah. Porzingis and Luka.
Porzingis different.
Yeah,
he different, dog.
Yeah, man. My Spurs was talking about getting him, but it was too late. And then it'll be a 5th.
I had the Nuggets in there, but
I think the Nuggets are now.
You think they ready right now?
I think this past year was the year that they weren't ready.
I love Joker.
Oh yeah,
I love him.
Yeah, I think. I mean, it might be. I think they still might have one more year, but if everybody gets better working their game this offseason, I think they're gonna be the 1 seed
again. Okay.
It's gonna take the Lakers time to get together. It's gonna take the Clippers time to mesh.
The Lakers still need a lot of pieces too.
Yeah. I mean, they roster. Don't get me wrong, the roster's nice, but I think they're gonna take some time to gel. But I think the Nuggets will be the 1 seed again, and I also think people are sleeping on Utah.
I keep forgetting about Utah.
Yeah, the Conley pickup, that's big, and
pure point.
They got a Moutier now on the bench with Exum. They starting 5 already. It was pretty solid.
Yeah,
I think Conley's an upgrade over Rubio, of course.
100%.
So they're gonna have some defense out there. They're gonna have some great scoring. That's a scary team.
That's a scary team.
I think the Nuggets probably be the. I mean, you got to put it together. They all look good on paper.
Yeah.
But the Nuggets already.
They were already good.
No change in Michael Porter Jr. now. Yeah. If he's healthy, he's knocking on some wood, and then you got Bo. I felt bad for him on draft night.
Yeah, man.
But Michael Porter Jr., if he's healthy,
you never know.
It might be 16, 17 a pop.
I was hoping my Bulls could have ended up with Michael Porter, but I'm not mad with Wendell Carter.
Yeah, I'm a Duke fan too, so.
Yeah, I forget.
Yeah, and I guess I'm gonna be. I was asking somebody a couple weeks ago, are we too old to change teams and stuff? Which I think we are. But I said, man, the Pelicans are, Duke South now.
Yeah, on the river.
Got about 5-6 guys from Duke, so big on that. But yeah, the Bulls. I mean, Levine has been putting in that work with his daddy.
Yeah. My biggest thing with Zach is I got to see his jumper. I have to see his jumper.
Yeah, he used to just could shoot at UCLA.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened.
Yeah, and he went from just dunking all over the place, pure highlight. You know what I'm saying? All above the rim. I'm cool with it.
Yeah,
but we need more.
I think he coming with it.
I hope so.
It's just
him and Kobe White might be special.
Yeah,
For the record, they calling him C Murder in Chicago already.
They calling him that?
They calling him C Murder in Chicago.
I didn't realize, I followed North Carolina a little bit during the season, during the ACC and all that stuff because of Duke.
Mm-hmm.
But, man, when I seen how big he was, 6'5", moving like that, pushing the ball and stuff, might be a problem.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed that we have a healthy point guard for a very long time in Chicago.
Y'all had Chris Dunn and...
Bro, we've had Chris Dunn, we've had Rondo, we've had Nate Robinson, we've had Derrick Rose, we've had... Ben Gordon played the point. Kirk Heinrich played point. I've been around since Vinny Del Negro, Scott Skiles, Tom Thibodeau.
Yeah, you went back.
I've had to deal with by far the worst coach I've ever seen in Fred Hoiberg. Ever.
Oh, that was terrible.
He wasn't meant for the job, and I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, he just couldn't command the team. It just. I don't know, man.
The wheels fell off early.
Yeah.
And when they fell off, they fell
like
off
the first
bad.
quarter of the season, it was... You could tell that was headed for disaster.
And at that, I'll cut him some slack. He had to deal with Rondo and Jimmy Butler at the same time.
Oh, yeah. We forgot about Jimmy.
Love JB. JB is one of my favorite players. JB is actually my current favorite player right now. But, I don't know. This year is going to be interesting here, especially with like how people are teaming up on the West side. And I'm going to be honest with you. I don't like how the West is just supremely loaded.
Oh, it's no question anymore.
Like and I hear people talking about how they want to dissolve the conferences and just make it like the best of 16. I'm not really with it.
No, I think it messes up history.
Yeah. You still take pride in it.
Yeah, but I see the argument for the other side, but I don't like messing with history, tradition. But you look at the East, man. Who you got? You got Philly.
Philly will be back.
You got Milwaukee.
Milwaukee will be back. Boston.
I like the Kemba pickup, but they lost Horford.
Yeah.
So
I thought he was going to sign with New Orleans, but
yeah. So I think that's the three over there. I mean, the Pacers will probably be straight.
Philly.
I think Toronto is going to plummet.
You think they're going to just sink?
I think they like a 7 seed.
Okay.
6-7 seed.
Okay. Who's your sleepers in the East?
Sleepers? I don't know, man. It's top heavy.
It is.
Orlando is putting together a nice little organization. Who is a sleeper out there that I would just say might come out? I mean, the Nets still. I still don't
trust Charlotte.
Oh no.
Still don't trust Miami. I love Jimmy Butler, I really do, but I still don't trust him as an organization. The other pieces that are around.
My sleeper would be the Pacers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you consider them a sleeper, but I think that'd be
people overlooking them.
They'll be about 4 or 5 seed, and I think that'd be a tough out in the playoffs with a healthy Oladipo.
I believe that.
Miles Turner.
Low underrated.
Yeah, they did lose. How do you say his name? To the Jazz.
The shooter. I know you're talking about
Bogdanovich.
Bogdanovich. There you go.
Something like that, because we were linked to him as well with San Antonio, but he cost too much money. But I say the Pacers. I don't know if there's any other sleepers out there.
Yeah, because I mean the East. I don't see the East being the East until KD come back.
Yeah, let me see. I'm about to.
And with KD coming back, well, let's get into KD for a second too. When KD signed with the Warriors, where was your mind?
Oh boy, man, that was weak, man.
From a competitive standpoint,
it was weak. You just had to, you just was up on them. You the reason why y'all lost.
Yeah.
I mean, him and Westbrook sunk that ship together.
Yeah.
So that's where I was at with it. You know, I just think it was weak.
I felt like he was better than that.
Yeah, like it wasn't. I was like, why?
Yeah.
Like you made it to where it was just going.
It was going to be y'all two. One of y'all was going to win championships.
It wasn't going. You wasn't going to beat that team if they were healthy this year. There's no way Toronto beats them. He made them unbeatable. Really.
Yeah.
That's the.
He is the machine.
Yeah, man. He's.
Like
I don't like the Warriors anyway. So.
Klay, Steph, and Draymond. As much as I dislike Draymond.
Yeah, that's the one I don't like the most. Draymond.
Klay, Steph, and
Draymond. I think it's very.
And Steve, they're the system, right?
Right.
But KD is the machine.
Yeah.
So
if all else fails, go get a bucket
from anywhere. And KD has this move that's so unstoppable that people don't even realize because he uses it so. He uses it in spaces, but he's not like. You know how Kobe would take you to the block at the end of his career, and he would post you up, and he would hit you with a fadeaway jumper.
Right.
Kevin Durant now does that, but he's 7 feet.
His game is gonna age well. Yeah. Just like Dirk back just got tight on him.
Yep.
You know, he just
and his feet went bad.
Yeah. So I mean, KD gonna be scoring 25 until you
hang him up.
Yeah, until you hang him up. You know, he had to take another major injury or something. But I think he's gonna come back just the same because it's really did a little research. His Achilles that got hurt, it wasn't off his leg that he jumps off of.
Okay.
It was the right one.
Okay.
So
that's good.
He's not really an explosive player anyway,
right.
In a sense. So I think he's gonna come back and beat KD.
He's always been more skilled in explosion.
Yeah.
And that's what I've always loved about him.
7 foot. He probably about 7'1" now. So, they don't mess with the heights.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't guard him. You just gotta hope. You gotta hope he miss.
Yeah. Whenever K signed with them, I was like, bro, that's weak of you because I just felt like he's better than that.
Yeah.
And he's labeled soft or whatever you want to call it. Maybe that's true, especially with burner Twitter accounts and all this other stuff in between. But I feel like it's just a person that wants to express his side of things.
Right.
I still think that it was weak of him to join the Warriors, and I think he realizes that too now. Yeah. And I think in his private moments,
Draymond made it clear.
Yeah,
he made it clear to him when they argued that it was a weak move. He thought it was a weak move, really.
Mm-hmm.
Even though they invited him there, they was like, "Man, we won without you."
Exactly.
It's kind of like saying, "Man, don't really need you."
Yeah.
So it's that's a crazy little.
It's a crazy combo, how everything has shaped out, and in Houston, I got Russ and James Harden. I love James.
Right.
I hate so much of the dribble show that I see because I'm so much.
I don't know what happened from this past season to the season before to where he's only gonna shoot off of dribbles. I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
Even in warm-ups, it's everything off the dribble. He doesn't run the break. I know a lot of people say that has something to do with Chris Paul, but he doesn't shoot open threes anymore. Everything is contested. You know, doesn't run the break. He doesn't get any easy baskets. So I don't. That's a mystery to me.
Yeah.
But what he did was amazing. I mean, the stretch of games.
He put up points. So somebody threw this out to me, right? And I trust your opinion on this.
Mm-hmm.
We saw Kobe put up 81. We've heard Wilt put up 100.
Mm-hmm.
You think anybody gonna get close to that 81?
Somebody gonna get close to it. I don't know if it'll be broken.
I don't think so either.
With Booker went off for 70. I mean, what Kobe did, man, is really amazing. When you look at what you have to do to score 81 points in that amount of time.
I'm sorry, Jalen.
It's just I don't know. I don't know if anybody will break that. I mean, with the rule changing and everything, maybe, but you got to be on. You got to have the green light.
I don't.
And the way the teams are now.
Yeah. And see, I don't think Steph is selfish enough to get there because the type of shooter Steph is, he could get there.
Right.
But I think Steph is the kind-hearted person and the teammate to give it to Clay.
And the way teams are built now is almost like, man, I'm not going to shoot all these shots.
Right.
I have, LeBron has AD. You got everybody got somebody to where Kobe had that game. He had to score.
Yeah, he had to.
When you watch the game, the game was close
the whole time.
It didn't get crazy till the end. Where they kind of pulled away. So they don't really have no teams like that anymore. I mean, Booker did that because he was on the Suns.
Yeah.
If he was playing another star, he's not shooting that many times and getting that many looks. So
I think he ends up with the Celtics before it's all said and done.
Who, Booker?
Yeah. Before it's all said and done, I think somehow if he doesn't get traded to, he just signed his extension. I think
he signed his extension last year.
Yeah, so I think somehow, some way, Danny Ainge is gonna weasel the Suns out of Devin Booker somehow, some way, and I think Gordon Hayward goes to the desert. Somewhere, somehow.
It's just so hard to see these fits because you got Jaylen Brown. Well, they're gonna be up for contract soon, so that very well may happen. You're gonna have Tatum still.
Yeah.
So that would be a good spot, a good market for him.
I think that's where he'll end up. And I mean, people always show him love because he went to high school in Mississippi, but he really from Michigan.
Right.
I don't know how some of the Michigan people feel about him or whatnot, but I mean, hey, I got a homie that hooped for the Pistons, but I think that they would just Detroit needs a good team too.
Yeah,
they need a better team. Let me put it like that.
Yeah, I mean, it was an 8 seed this year, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I want them to come up. It's better. Like, as much as I don't like the Lakers and stuff like that, it's good when they're.
It's better for the sport.
NBA is better when they're, these bigger markets have good teams. So I am pulling for the Pistons.
Yeah, I want the Pistons to be a lot better too, and I think that they're on the right track. I say that as a supporter, not a fan, but as a supporter.
Yeah.
It's just strange how everything is set up, and my biggest concern too with the Pelicans were that prior to them getting the number 1 pick, prior to them trading Anthony Davis, when the whole Anthony Davis fiasco was in full motion, back in my mind is, how cheap Pelican tickets are.
Oh, yeah.
My concern is they were getting ready to move that team to Seattle.
Yeah.
Seattle deserves another team, and I think if the league doesn't expand, then they were going to pull Phoenix and move them to Seattle, or pull New Orleans and move them to Seattle.
I think they would have moved the Pelicans out.
I think so.
Because, I mean, really, to be honest, New Orleans is a Saints.
It's football state. Louisiana is a football state.
And the tickets, you got that right, man. Them tickets was cheap in New Orleans.
$15.
Yeah.
$15, you could go to an NBA game.
Some games were like $6.
Yeah. You couldn't give Pelican tickets away. You couldn't give them away.
Yeah.
And it was just the attendance is so bad. I went there on. It was I don't remember what night it was, but I remember they were playing the Knicks. And it wasn't even packed. This is like peak mellow.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like bucket giving mellow. And nobody was in the stands. I'm like, dog, what's happening?
Yeah.
And by the way, every time I've tried to go to a Pelican game, something like a freak accident has always happened to Anthony. Like, it's always just happened to Anthony. And it's always just been a freak accident every single time. The first time that I went, Anthony stepped on, like, somebody's foot. And you know how they have, like, little charity community event kind of thing where you say, oh, this person won this. Anthony steps on the dude's foot and rolls his ankle prior to the game starting. I say, dog, how clumsy can you be?
Yeah.
Then, people will say, oh, he has, he's soft, he's fragile, he doesn't do X, Y, Z. I don't know. I guess we'll see a different Anthony in LA.
Yeah, I mean, it was a joy to watch him because I did go to 2 Pelicans games. I went to see them play the Spurs and the Warriors. And it was amazing seeing him. But he seems like he is very injury prone at times.
Yeah.
It's like, well, I mean, just be like little freak accidents like you're talking about. So it's amazing to watch him cover so much ground out there.
Yeah.
You see how he really is a problem, but can he stay healthy? That's going to be the question.
That's
and
it.
We have to ask the same question about LeBron now, too.
Got to. And it's crazy because, like, Bron has been in our life since, what, 02?
Yeah.
Because that's when we first started seeing his high school games on national TV. He's been in the league since 03.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to think back. Like, Bron had a light back injury in Miami, but they dealt with that so quick. It was like,
yeah,
it never happened.
And the only other thing was cramps.
And cramps.
Yeah, that was the first time we seen that. It was just cramps.
And that was like the chink in the armor.
Yeah.
Other than that, I've never seen Bron ever. When Bron came up gimpy on Christmas Day, I was like, my heart sank. I was like, not yet. Not yet.
I mean, the same thing happened to Kobe. I mean, Kobe still was on top.
Yeah.
You know, it just little freak, you know, just little crazy stuff. The KD thing hurt me. Like, that was tough, you know, just...
When KD first did that to his foot, whenever he had the Jones fracture, I was like, ooh.
Yeah.
Because that's a bone, like, right there on the corner of your foot. And
right.
I was like, oh, that might be bad.
Yeah, planting and everything. And
plant, spin off,
yeah,
Euro step.
Right.
Whatever the case may be. It's just, I don't know. I hope everything, like, fast forwards and it gets a lot better. So, dealing with a lot of these kids nowadays, right?
Mm-hmm.
The scene is different. The recruiting is different for kids.
Recruiting starts at about 6 or 7 now, maybe 5 years old.
It's a certain high school here in town where they recruit people based off of their grandparents too. I'm not going to say that school's name, but I think that you have an idea.
Yeah.
Because my family tried to get me to go to that high school.
Oh, for real?
My entire family went to that high school, except me. So I'm the black sheep of my family, truly.
Yeah.
But there's this high school, and you know they do pretty good. Is it still the same? Is Peabody still like Peabody? As for whenever it comes to basketball?
I would say so. I mean, I could go really deep into this, but I think the process is still the same. I have my problems with Peabody, but they're still one of the premier schools in the state, known around the country. Really,
yeah.
When I was in school, everybody knew what Peabody was. From Alexandria, you went to Peabody? Like, nah.
That's the first question.
Yeah, like, no. Did not go to Peabody.
I'm on the other side.
They're still a premier. I mean, I just have a problem with the development of some of the players. I think they are their favorites over there. But all in all, they had the best talent most of the times.
Yeah.
But our area, I do give it to them, and they have good coaches over there. As far as coaching basketball, I just think our area is very weak when it concerns coaching. We do have some good coaches here, but if you look at all the different sports around Alexandria, it's a coaching problem. We had never lacked talent in Alexandria.
Never. Shout out to Juan Pierre.
Yeah, you know, just different times. You know, if you look at back when we were in high school, you look at those football teams, everybody was on there, the baseball teams. We have some big names, and, you know, even across the whole city. You got people in the NFL, you know, NBA players. It's just...
both sides of the river.
Yeah, both sides of the river. I mean, but it's just... I think it's just a lack of coaching in the area, really. But Peabody is still Peabody.
And I'm not surprised. I'm really not. Because I think a lot of that has to do with the tradition. A lot of it has to do with the history.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it has to do with a lot of their ties to a lot of the people in these zones. You know, if you're from the South Side, then you've went to Peabody homecoming. You went to a Peabody basketball game. Mm-hmm. You went to something dealing with the Peabody area, one way or another. And the reason why I bring up how kids are recruited now is because I don't understand the AAU scene at all.
Oh, it's totally...
I don't know how it goes, because whenever we were coming up, it was Rivals.com just football, or was it basketball too?
It had basketball, but it was mostly football. People didn't really care about the basketball rankings like that. I mean, they did, but Mm-hmm. Rivals was really for football at the time.
And so, whenever recruiting, I felt like recruiting was pretty much left up to your parents. Yeah. That's how I felt. This is me. I don't need you. Don't co-sign it. You know what I'm saying? Don't co-sign it. But I just feel like it's left up to the parents because the parents aren't connected. And the parents are only connected to.
You talking about back then or now?
Back then.
Okay.
Back then. Like, it was only connected to what college your parents went to or who does your parent know that's connected at whatever school. If they're not plugged in like that, then that's kind of like where things stop unless you walk
I agree with you because it really took your parents to be involved because back when we were in school, mid 2000s, late 2000s, early 2000s, before social media really boomed, your coaches had a lot of control.
Yeah, they did.
So if your parents didn't have to connect or wouldn't be able to put you out there, then you were in trouble. Mm-hmm. But now, like I said, recruiting can start at 5 or 6 because all you got to do record, put it on YouTube, put it on Instagram, put it on Facebook, and
tag
the child is, it's a lot different. And the athletes now, man,
they different, bro.
I mean, these 7th and 8th graders, like going 20 legs, 3-6 in the games. Like, we ain't see none of that. But
there was this kid. Go ahead.
They've seen so much now. So it's like they've been seeing it for 10 years. So, like, they just try stuff now. Stuff we were scared like, we're not going to try it, we're going to get pulled. Mm-hmm. They ain't seen other people doing it, so they just do it themselves now. And it's ridiculous.
It's a chain reaction to it all.
Yeah.
So, from the recruiting going from what it was for us to fast forwarding to AAU, the kids get recruited. How I understand it is the kids get recruited. Sometimes they don't even play high school ball.
Oh, yeah.
Some of them just play just strictly AAU, and then that's it from there. Like, I wonder why is that? Like, is it because it's more exposure at these camps, or is
more exposure, more control? If they play AAU, most time parents can coach it.
Yeah.
So my child, my son, my daughter, they're gonna be playing.
Yeah. I guess that's kind of like a spinoff of like locally for us. It's Kappa League.
Right.
And it's a spinoff from that. I don't. Do you think it's healthy for the kids to be, if you're a parent, do you think that it's healthy for a kid to play high school ball and do AAU? Or you think it's just beneficial to, because it's a lot on the body, especially in like.
I was thinking about this a few weeks ago. It's crazy you asking me that.
That's wild.
I think you almost have to nowadays, but I wouldn't really focus on it until. I wouldn't be having my child play that sport year round until probably about 15 or 16.
We were rapping it about AAU and
playing year round.
Playing year round, and it's just like you say. I think that is a bit much for the children. 15, 16 is a good age for them.
I mean, you start taking it. I mean, you're supposed to take it serious. I believe in doing everything excellent, but to put all that strain on your child at an early age, I just think it's, as big as sports is to us, it's not everything. It's not our life.
Right.
I mean, it is for some people, I guess, but there's other things more important than sports. But sports is where I learned a lot of principles and everything. So I think it's a place for it, but I think it's a whole lot to be basketball year round, working out every day. I mean, at some point you do that, but I don't think you do that as 12, 10.
Who knows? Your child might be gifted in art.
Right.
Your child might be a screenplay writer.
Yeah, I hope it's sports though, but yeah.
Same.
I feel you on that. I mean, whatever it is, because they're going to have their reason for being here.
Yeah. I'm
going to support them in that. I just want to be excellent whatever they do.
Same. I know that I'm going to end up being one of those crazy parents. I know I am because I have a niece. I have my niece over there in Texas. This might have been 14. I went over there to Dallas to go check out a couple of her summer games, right? Mm-hmm. She's getting better. She's getting better.
What sport?
Basketball.
Okay.
So, I'm locked in. Yeah. I'm locked in, right? And Lexi's team wasn't doing the best around her. So I was like having to hold my tongue because I understand at the end of the day, these are children. Lexi's team was getting like bluesed by this other team. But Lexi's team ended up coming back.
Mm-hmm.
Then it got tight down the stretch. The ref called like a really bad foul, and I sat there and watched the other team push her own teammate to get a rebound, and they called the foul on Lexi.
Right.
Gabe, I lost it.
Yeah.
I lost it on the sideline. Like, I completely lost it. I didn't get teched up. I didn't get thrown out. I had to go away for a little while to come back.
Right.
I caught the last 2 minutes of the game. They going bucket for bucket, back and forth, and it's tied like the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
Lexi ended up hitting that she heaved it from like half court. It sunk. Gabe, I ran to the court and I tackled my niece. I tackled her. I loved it. I loved everything about it. So I know whenever it comes down to me to have children, I'm
gonna be the crazy dad.
LeVar?
Yeah, I mean, I probably ain't gonna do all the talking. But being the stands mad, like they strike out and stuff, I just know how I'm gonna be. So that's why I just gotta be aware of what I'm doing, because I got some other stuff I'm trying to be in the future. I don't want to mess myself up at a recreational game and stuff. But I'm gonna be the crazy dad though.
I know it.
I'm gonna be so serious out there. They ain't gonna be dragging me around and just be out there flopping and stuff. You gotta come with it, man.
We gonna work.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we definitely gonna get this work in.
Most definitely.
And with these kids now around here, around Alexandria, what's new for the children? Like, is there anything new, or what would you like to see new?
I just think
not just in sports, but just overall.
Oh well, I mean, we need some more after school programs.
Mm-hmm.
And we definitely need some more recreational things. I just feel like that's the problem around here, is that recreationally there's not much to do.
Yeah.
So that's why you have these people, these kids get out in the streets. The bands have gotten smaller. Some of the teams have gotten smaller, the amount of kids. So I just think we got to put a focus on, just the education and really recreationally. We need some more gyms, or the gyms we do have to be open.
Yeah.
I know it's a lot, about liabilities and all those different things, but we have a wealth of resources here that I think aren't used properly.
Yeah. True.
And then when it goes back, some of these coaches just use their players. And then when they try to give back, they come back and try to give back, or they have something to do in the summertime, and the doors are locked. So I think that's the big problem around here. Because I said, man, I know when I first got out of high school around here, it was so hard to find a gym. And then we finally connected with LC a little bit, so we was hooping like every day. But it's hard now. Some of the coaches around here do a great job of that. I know Coach Bradshaw is over at Ash now. He's one of them. But Lance Brasher, yeah, he's at Ash now.
Okay.
Yeah, Peabody legend.
Wow.
Coach Grant, Tioga.
Ran Tinsley up out of that, huh?
Yeah, trying to be nice about time. But
no, it's about time.
Oh yeah,
it's about time.
But I know he's big on opening gyms to the kids and developing kids, building relationships with them. So I think that's great for the city.
Beautiful.
And I just think more people need to have that mentality.
Absolutely.
It's about the kids, really, man.
That's what it's about. It's about how can we better the children?
Yeah.
Because you look around. I don't come home often, but whenever I'm home, I see the same things on different sides of town, in which that bothers me.
Right.
I shouldn't be seeing just children at a young age. Kids are kids, and they're going to play in the summertime too, so I get it. Kids are going to be out. But whenever you come from some things, you see some things. And you see the same things in some of these children that are in the streets, and it's like, my town better than that. My city better than that. Because when we came up, the baseball complex that's right here on Lake Charles Highway, it shouldn't look like that.
Oh, that's my stomping grounds. I grew up at Silvertown. All our state championship signs and everything is down. The grass is not cut.
It shouldn't look like that.
There is somebody trying to fix it up again, but he don't have help. I think that's the problem. People don't really prioritize those things. And everybody's moving out to Johnny Downs. They moved Alexandria Little League to Dixie by Cabrini now, but lack of coaching. I went over there and got mad about a month ago. Yeah. Just a lack of coaching. So I'm believing God that I have an opportunity to I have a role in help changing some things, because my heart is for that. like I said, man, baseball didn't work out for me. You know, I didn't play basketball until 10th grade. I never played organized basketball.
Correct.
But, you know, growing up, me and my dad always out there playing and stuff. So it kind of was and I'm a student of the game, so it was a good transition for me. But baseball, I feel like I was wronged in that regard. So I said, what I want to do is I want to help the future generations, not deal with what I went through, give them opportunity. So I'm believing God that we'll have an opportunity. But I like where our city's headed, regardless of that. You know, with Mayor Jeff Hall, seeing some improvements. You know, trying to do some unfair stuff to him recently. But all in all, I mean, he putting people to work. I see we got road work all over the city. We ain't never had all these roads having construction on them. So that's been great. I know some other projects they got going, but I believe the city is on the come up.
Good.
But we definitely need to put a focus on recreation and just making sure our education system stays. I mean, it was good when I was growing up. Not sure how it is all the way around now. I know some schools are great, but I just think we got to put a focus on the education and just getting people back involved.
Yeah.
Don't need to be idle.
Yeah.
That's been the problem.
Because a lot of times too, like whenever a lot of people graduate, this is a struggle that I had after I graduated from Ashton 11. I was at that point in time, I was set on going to PV in Houston.
Uh-huh.
Things fell through. Some things happened. So my course had to change. It was either I end up at Graham, or I could go to UL,
Right.
or I could stay home and like work and help out my moms.
Uh-huh.
But I took a look around and I saw how many people that did not leave, and they did not have an opportunity to just be better. And I was like, well, it's kind of hard just being a one-man show on some of these things. So it was best to leave.
Right.
And then you look around and it's still, just like we just had a brief talk, it's almost been a decade.
Yeah.
For you, it has been a decade, but for me, it's coming up on a decade.
Right.
And it's like some of these things haven't changed. Some of these are slowly getting better. But just a lot of work that has to go into a lot of this stuff.
A whole lot of work.
Because a lot of people look at some stuff and they just say, oh, okay, well, he's doing that over there. Well, cool, he got it. Instead of, how can I help?
Yep.
Or instead of discrediting that man or woman.
Yeah, I mean, what I see going around here is, if it's not them, they don't even want nothing to do with it. Because they want the praise, they want the credit. Everybody's trying to have their own thing instead of, seeing what vision is out there and helping that man or that woman. You know, that's been the problem. They either try to discredit it and say that ain't really what it's about, or
I think in my opinion, the term link up is being used the wrong way.
Yeah.
A lot of times whenever you hear people say, yo, let's link, it's always on some, I'm going to meet you over here at the club. Or I'm going to meet you over at the spot.
Right.
I'm going to meet you over there at the clubhouse. Instead of, yo, how about we link up and start a business?
Right.
Yo, why don't we link up and start a youth league? How can we get the children that we know out the streets? How can we link up and get the children out the streets? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's something that I pray for. That I hope that my city eventually gets.
We're gonna get there.
Gets to that. And
we have some like-minded people like how we're talking right now around my age group. Our age group that are really here for the city. Yeah. They have opportunities. They could have been somewhere else, but they've come back home, choosing to stay here. Feel like they're supposed to be here. So it's turning around. It's just we just gotta take our time with it.
And for the record, and I'm gonna just say this. Everybody doesn't need a club to be successful in the city. Everybody don't need a club. Everybody does not need to be a recording artist. I promise you have multiple gifts, but you shouldn't be afraid to use your gifts.
Right.
They're yours for a reason.
God gave them to you for a reason. I mean, your gifts, your skills, your talents, it's for you to play your role.
Yeah.
And so just be the best role player you can be, That's where I'm at with it. Like I said, there's a lot of stuff in my heart that I just believe over time I'll be able to, do the things I believe God placed in there. So you just gotta play your role, man. Don't try to ride these waves.
Yeah.
You gotta figure out what you're supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
And then just do it, and then it's gonna.
What's
natural? What you're supposed to be doing is gonna prosper.
Yeah. If it's not natural, it's not.
There's too many people trying to force things, and just because they see they boy doing this or doing that, then I might as well do that too. It's like, man, that's not for you. So that's kind of a frustrating thing for me. Seeing with other people, but also myself, I just want to do everything in the right time. Yeah. Just try to make sure my steps are, sure, and just help the city, man. We should be booming.
Yeah.
I ain't trying to say I don't want to live in a place that's got 200, 150, 200,000 people, but it should be a lot more going around Alexandria, the center of the state.
What hurts about my hometown is this place is the middle of a map.
Mm-hmm.
You can't get more center in anywhere in the country than what Alexandria, Louisiana is. There's a huge port that's right here in the middle of my city.
All right.
There's a river that divides two cities that really should be one, that should be working as one.
Yeah.
And I think we're getting to that.
Oh yeah.
I think that we're getting close to that. But in the late 90s, early 2000s, I know you remember how the mall used to look.
I was talking about the mall earlier. No, yesterday.
The mall used to be a real thing.
Oh, yeah.
Before the Grand came in, we had 2 movie theaters on opposite sides of town.
Yep.
North side had theirs, south side had theirs. Right. It might have been a thing where people was going like back and forth on some stuff about their sides of town, but I don't see that, and I don't feel that no more as much as I felt back like it was back then. But in the 90s, things were so fluent. Things were so natural. Things were so... It just felt like the town was full of roses. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was just a beautiful place. And
a great childhood.
Yeah. And that's why I feel bad, because some of these kids, they haven't had a chance to experience the Alexandria that we experienced.
Yeah, man. Once you hit the teenage age around here... Yeah.
It's dangerous.
It's dangerous. I don't know what you're supposed to really be doing. There's not much for you to do. It's just... I don't know, man. I don't like trying to, keep putting stuff out in the atmosphere and stuff, but...
Agreed.
Just want stuff to change. We're talking about it because we do want change.
Absolutely.
So, like I said, I enjoyed my childhood, but now, like I said, man, a bunch of these places have closed down. The mall used to be a pretty safe and nice hangout spot.
Before there was a teenage age restriction.
Yeah, but now, we have Dillard's and JCPenney.
Yeah.
That's it. You got some shoe stores in there, but everything is pretty much, I know over time, we got a bunch of strip malls and stuff nowadays is big, but the mall is pretty much no more.
I know.
It's very, I don't know where you're supposed to hang out around here, to be honest with you.
And whenever I heard Forever 21 skated out.
Oh, that was it.
I was like, oh, wow.
That's what started it.
I believe it.
Yeah.
Because they were pretty much they were the middle of the mall.
Yeah.
That's the middle of the mall, the middle of the food court.
Mm-hmm.
You can't listen. Better days are on the horizon for my city. But I truly believe that, and I'm not just saying that because I'm tied in, but because it feels different from whenever I was here in November, December to now. It feels different.
Yeah.
It even looks a little different.
Right.
Like you say, construction.
There's construction all over the city.
Man,
sidewalks getting put in.
Man, I tried to come home the other day right here on Horseshoe, and everything's blocked off, and I'm like,
"Oh, your Horseshoe closed right now."
I'm like, "What's happening?"
Yeah.
But it's all for the betterment.
I came home one day; they was working on my driveway.
See,
I'm like, "Man, what you doing in your yard?" But they working.
Yeah. So, Gabe, what all do you have going on? Like, what's happening? For the people that's going on, like that are listening, like, just fill us in. Like, what do you have shaking that's like going on that you can speak about?
Well, I'm enjoying married life, coming up on 2 years with my wife.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. My wife, Liz. Real busy with the church.
Good.
Had a few business things we're going to have some discussions about, gonna pick your brain after this about some things going on.
Most definitely.
But that's kind of my life right now here in Alexandria. I did my wilding out and everything. So I'm real relaxed.
Same.
And laid back now, just trying to really prioritize, work on myself every day. Do a lot of reading now. You know, I think wisdom is the key to everything.
Yes, Lord.
So just trying to do a lot of reading now, and spend time on the game and stuff like that. But I got some stuff I'm kind of working on. I'm looking on helping a few. I was talking to somebody earlier about helping the AAU team out.
Good.
So I know we talked about that, but I said I try to bring a balance to some of these things. I think I can be a balance to some things.
It's a space to help.
Yeah, it's a space to help. And I just think, especially our youth, man, they need good role models and mentors. So that's kind of what I've been putting my focus on, trying to cultivate these relationships with some of the youth. That's what I've been big on lately, to be honest with you. Went to a camp. Last month I went to a camp for youth, and so I feel like that's what I'm doing right now, but to cultivate some of these relationships.
There you go, bro.
Especially the guys, these young guys. There's a lack of fathers in some of these homes, and
True.
And just around here, like we saying, man, the culture is just crazy at times. So, not trying to toot my own horn or anything, but I think I'm pretty level-headed, and I think I can help some of these, these youth, man, and just be a friend to them, be somebody that can listen, be a listening ear, things of that nature. So that's probably that's really what I got going. I say I got a few business things I'm not gonna speak on yet until we get a little bit more solidified.
There you go. Keep that under wraps until you're ready.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's not for everybody ears, and that's something that I had to learn the hard way too.
Yeah.
I gave up a lot of things early that some ears shouldn't have heard.
Right.
And some of those were mistakes, but you learn from them. But that's definitely beautiful, man, and I truly believe. And you know what? I'm surprised. Like, are you just now starting to read, really read?
Oh no, I've been a reader all my life.
That's what I figured. Okay,
yeah,
all right.
Like that was big in my house.
Yeah.
My parents had us reading something every day.
What you on right now? Like, what are the three that stick out to you the most that have stuck with you in life?
Well, I have books on like faith and confession.
Okay.
I'm on some money stuff. Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
Somebody just recommended that book to me. Yeah, you got somebody just recommended that to me about 2 weeks ago.
It's probably about my third time reading that.
Wow.
But I try to just stay in my lane with those. There's some other stuff. I got some spiritual books I've been reading too. Good. So, but I'm big on faith and what you're confessing, what you're putting out into the atmosphere. Mm-hmm. So that's what I really been putting the focus on. But then Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
Do you meditate?
I guess you can say that.
Yoga, all that?
I don't do yoga.
Bro, I've always taken you to be like a meditation person to really sit down and be in your bag, your candles lit, nothing's wrong with that.
Yeah.
Being in your bag, just meditating. Like I've always taken you to be that kind of person.
Yeah, man, I'm very just sound peaceful.
Yeah.
I know how to withdraw and just kind of disconnect at times, and just focus on myself.
Speaking of withdrawal, you were the very first person that I can remember that separated themselves from social media. And you did it so early, and I didn't understand because you were one of my favorite,
Man, I was thinking about that, man.
You were one of my favorite, people.
Yeah.
Because I would say, man, because what Twitter was in 10, 11, it's not what it is now.
Nah.
Today, it's totally wide open. People are doing so much, but back then, it was just strictly text.
Right.
It was strictly literature. And
it was people's minds.
Yeah, and yeah. I'm a fan of literature, so that's why I'm super, I'm heavy on Twitter. That's why I'm slowly getting back into Instagram because I had my hiatus from it because it just became too much. But in Snapchat, I've never been, fully in it because it's a little too personal to me. But Twitter I've always been a fan of, and you were one of my favorite tweeters, and then one day it's just, man. Gabe just went away.
I was thinking about that, man, recently when we kind of reconnected and everything. I was like, man, I remember our conversations and stuff on there and bouncing stuff off each other. Mm-hmm. But I just kind of had to, like I said, withdraw. And I'm about limiting distractions.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of distractions out there.
True.
So time I'm on there looking at stuff and, watching this video, watching that video. Well, don't get me wrong, I still do that. But, I did disconnect from Twitter. But I just limit my time on things now.
Got to.
Because it's just so much you could be working on while you're on there.
Absolutely.
Like wasting time. Because, it'd be different if we was on there strictly to gain wisdom and to learn things. But a lot of times we're not when we on there. It's just a lot of foolishness on there anyway.
It's foolishness and entertainment. And for some
reason...
Because
Facebook totally different now.
Yeah.
Because Facebook used to really be a place where you connect with your classmates and relatives. But now it's...
Bro, I got on Facebook about 2 weeks ago and I was terrified.
Yeah.
It looked totally different.
Yeah.
It looked like a combination of Tumblr and Instagram put together.
It's mostly just videos, pictures, and then people talking crazy.
Yeah, and I was like, what is happening over here?
It's bad.
And
it's bad.
So I was like, you know what? I'm going to log out and I'm not going to come back for another 2 years.
Well, thank God they got an unfollow tab on there now.
Okay.
So people can still be your friends and they won't know you unfollowed them. So you just can kind of clean it up a little bit, and if you do post, they see what you post, but you ain't got to see what they post. So I've learned to utilize that. But I just had to withdraw from it a little bit. I didn't want to demand so much of my time, but I said that was the good old days. I've been trying to find a way to get back on there.
It's not the same. I think it's nowhere close, Gabe.
Yeah.
It's nowhere close, and that's really just the most honest way I can put it, because now I can scroll my timeline right now, and I guarantee I'm going to see like a couple troll tweets.
Mm-hmm.
I might see a few racist tweets, just because they just end up on the timeline.
Right.
I'll see basketball videos, and of course you control your timeline to an extent, but they have this feature now to where, let's say 6 of the people you follow, they like something, that's going to show up on your timeline. Just because 6 of your followers or 6 people that you follow.
I don't know how that is.
Exactly. So if it's a naked picture and you married, you know what I'm saying? Like, it just look wild. It just looks wild on the timeline. And
that's another thing, man. Just, you got to watch what you take in. Because everything you put your eyes on, you listen to, it become a part of you if you dwell on it too long. So it was really about kind of just helping my thought life.
Yeah.
Because what you think on is what you become.
True.
That's a manifestation of what you've been, your actions are a manifestation of what you've been thinking on. So
come on, man. You couldn't have said that any better.
Yeah. So, that was really my biggest reason. I said, I used to be on there talking crazy too sometimes. So, this is the good old days. It was a good experience, but I was like, man, I gotta chill.
Yeah. And that's what a couple people pulled me to the side and they were like, yo, like, you getting kind of out of control. I said, what you mean?
Hey, stuff used to be so funny on there. I went on Twitter about a year ago and looked at my favorites. It's called something else now. I don't know if it's likes or something. Yeah.
Likes. Uh-huh.
Man, the stuff I seen on there, boy, I was crying laughing. Like, we really used to be on some you in my face, you on my likes. I said, boy, Marty, we all was different. Just the funniest stuff.
Oh my God.
So I said, you were one of my favorites because you would just slide in. It'd be something like just random, but I'll be like, man, like, we made him think of that, but that's real though. So you was one of my favorites too.
Oh my God.
It went both ways.
The person that I'm so glad that I'm not that person anymore. Thank God for growth.
Mm-hmm.
Thank God for it, because some of them, like, I even like I found my original Twitter handle and I had to like scroll up to go find it, and I had to just search the tweets and everything. I found it. Some of those things, Gabe, I wish I could just take them back.
Yeah.
I wish I could take them back.
They out there though.
They out there. So it don't even make no sense to delete them.
They out there.
And for those who follow my Twitter, please do not try and go find them old tweets, because I'm no longer that person. And I'm living a better life.
Yeah.
Don't hold none of that against me. Yeah, both of us. Both of us. All of us.
Yeah.
You got to accept growth for what it is.
Right.
And for everything moving forward, do you think that there will be like another social media that, I'm not going to say controls people, but is in demand by the people?
Well, I don't think social media is going anywhere. So I can't. People live their lives based off of that now, for good and for bad. For good and for bad.
Yeah.
It's a lot of illusions out there, and people go. they use social media to live for other people. So I don't know where it's about to go with it, but I don't think it's going anywhere.
I don't think so either, because it's at this point it's too.
And it's our phone. I mean, everything leads to our phones and stuff now. Everything's so accessible. It's not going anywhere.
That's exactly where I was going.
People thinking, sometimes I just leave my phone in another room and stuff, or just try to put it down.
That's what I do.
You got to, man, because it's. I mean,
you get locked into your phone and you locked in. The other day, I found myself. I'm sitting there and I was supposed to be watching Euphoria.
Mm-hmm.
And it was maybe like the first 5 minutes. The first 5 minutes of one of those episodes, it was just a little slow. It was like a little slow. And I was like, well, I'm going to just scroll the timeline real quick but I'm going to be listening to the TV. I look up, I'm an hour and a half in my phone.
Yeah.
Don't know how it happened.
Easy.
It just got sucked into the vortex. Like, that's just what it was. And I was like, okay, you know what? This phone is going in the other room. And I won't see it for another 3 hours.
Yeah. So, I had to delete games off my phone.
Yeah.
I said, I gotta get rid of time stealers.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing.
Yeah,
that's the biggest thing, dog. Because you scroll the timeline a couple times, you might see this and that, and then you lead to another thing, and then you lead to something else, and then that leads you to, and then you don't even know how you got there in the first place. And it's just like, all right, it's a little too much. And I don't know, the social media thing is dangerous, super dangerous. Kids on there.
Oh yeah.
You have 45 that says the things that he says.
Yeah.
But the thing that I like the most about social media, especially Twitter, is the fact that it's news. It's real time.
Yeah.
Like, whenever... I was in Baton Rouge whenever Alton Sterling got killed. Mm-hmm. And it was a little down the road from me, but everything that was being shown on social media was real time because half of my friends, they were on their Snapchat. And, like, the same thing that they're showing on their Snap is the same thing that's showing up on ABC's.
Yeah, because it's gonna take the news a little while to get there.
Exactly.
You got people at the same.
And then on the timeline, you seeing homies getting, like, tear gas thrown at them and, like, tanks rolling down airline. And you like, yo, like, it's really real. Rest in peace, Alton Sterling.
Yeah.
And to anybody who suffered police brutality. Or anybody that's been a
policeman apologized the other day or something like that.
It was an attempt. It was an attempt. They tried. But for one, it's a little overdue.
Oh, yeah. Way overdue.
And that situation, along with a lot of other situations, should have been handled a lot better.
But see how social media exposed kids to that. Like, we seen the video. We seen them get killed.
Yeah.
I said, so
what? That Eric Garner video.
Yeah.
Which sparked the whole season that year.
Right.
Everybody's rocking the I Can't Breathe t-shirts.
Yeah.
The man's pleading for his life and still take it on a legal move. Something that's outlawed. But hey, I guess they can get away with the things they get away with whenever you have that type of protection. So I wanted to rap with you about the Colin Kaepernick situation too.
Okay.
Because a lot of people have been... I feel like whenever you speak about or you speak up for the things that you believe in, you automatically get blackballed. Whether if it's Colin Kaepernick, whether if it's Mark Jackson, whether if it's Chris Jackson, I just can't. My tongue doesn't allow me to pronounce the name that he goes by now. Yeah. And even there are just other sides of those spectrums too, where you have people that are. It's like blackballing goes so many different ways, and I feel like it's people choose the narratives that they want to accept or appreciate. Like, I feel like some people sit there and they say things about church or religion shouldn't be in school, or church or religion shouldn't be in sports. But you have people like Tim Tebow that are...
Oh, they definitely blackballed him. They sabotaged him.
Yeah.
I was watching the preseason game when he's with the Jets. When that man went in, they put all the receivers on go routes. So what are you supposed to throw the ball?
Right.
They just made him look... I mean, this man threw for over 400 yards his last game in Florida. I understand the NFL, you want a quick emotion and all this stuff, but I said that man could throw a football.
Yeah, he can.
But that was just all about what he stood for.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's just certain things they going, you know, certain trends, certain agendas they gonna always stand by. You speak against that or you stand for something else, then it's over with for you.
Yeah, if you are a rebel in any industry, it makes it tough.
Right.
It makes it tough, especially with the Colin Kaepernick thing. And it looks like Colin is doing well. It looks like it.
Yeah, I would like to know what he got in the settlement.
Me too.
You know, I've been. I mean, I know it's not gonna be disclosed to us.
Yeah, it's not. It's not supposed to be. But somebody said it was. I read an article somewhere. It might have been about 10 mil, but I don't believe that. I don't believe that. I don't believe that. Not even in the slightest. Like I just don't.
Right.
And it's just strange how people blackball you for doing what's right. And a lot of times in sports, like they tell you, do the right thing, be a good teammate, be a model citizen. Well, here's an example of it, and look at the consequence.
Yeah.
I think it makes it tougher for the next. I think it makes it tougher for the next generation. But one thing that I can say about these kids, they're fearless. They're fearless in the sense of they'll say what they have to say. They'll do how they want. Versus in 10 years ago, whenever we were in high school, it's if you say this, it could be game over for everything for you that you have. So how you just feel about the whole blackball situation?
I think it's a real thing. I just think it's about whatever agenda is being pushed at the time. If you buck up against it, I mean, the Kaepernick thing was a perfect storm with everything that was going on in our political climate.
Yeah.
So it was just really a way to. I don't even know what they was trying to accomplish by it. It's just you can't tell me the man is not a top 50 or 60 quarterback in the league. You know, you got all these different people. Tebow was a winner. You know, it's just Mark Jackson. I think it was because of religious stances. Yeah. I think he was blackballed because you got people that ain't trying to live that lifestyle.
Right.
In that lifestyle, you know, professional sports, you know, we're not in it, but I've heard a whole bunch of stuff. I've seen stuff out and about. It's a different kind of world, so they don't want anybody, I say, speaking their truth. You know, well, speaking truth in a sense, because we know what's right and wrong. But if you're somebody of principle, man, you're a target. Yeah. It's just the world we live in.
Yeah, every time.
I don't see what was wrong with Mark Jackson. I don't see what was wrong with the Kaepernick. He explained what it was for, what he was protesting.
Multiple times.
It had nothing to do with the military.
And he had military speak on his behalf.
Yeah, and it's like it just. I don't know, man. It's weird, and it's just kind of scary.
And whenever it comes to the NFL, I know some people who are still on that hill where I'm not watching, I'm not giving my money. Like some people are still on that hill, lifelong Patriot fans, lifelong Saints fans, lifelong Cowboy fans, especially the football team in Washington D.C. That name needs to be changed, by the way.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna call them.
No, they said this. It's known.
It's offensive.
Yeah.
Look at ULM. ULM had to change their name.
Yeah.
You know, because they was at one point in time a racial slur.
Right.
So they had to change that. The baseball team in Cleveland, same thing. You know, it's a hockey team in Chicago.
That's crazy. The race of people is a mascot.
Florida State.
That's some deep stuff.
But you know, it's people pick and choose the things that they want to really like deep dive on. But I mean, hey, if we're gonna make it right, let's make it right across the board. And
right.
I don't understand. Well, I understand why, but I feel like there's enough voices in the world to where all this can be changed and where it can all get flipped around in a positive spectrum.
Right.
I mean, people will love to highlight an athlete that does something negative or an actor that does something negative.
That's what the news is.
In a heartbeat. But they'll never talk about how Markel just had a camp here that hosted X amount of kids. Or how Langston just had a basketball camp in Baton Rouge that hosted X amount of kids.
Yeah, they give them about 20 seconds.
20 seconds of it.
20, 30 seconds, but
they won't tell you about how many school supplies they just gave out. Right. They're not going to tell you about how to this day, I still haven't seen ESPN run a story about how LeBron James has his own school.
They're not. Jalen Rose
has his own school in Detroit.
They're not gonna do that.
It's unfortunate, but I mean, I think that we're moving into a direction where a lot of former athletes and current athletes, they're getting to this space of empowerment, and hopefully this trickles down to the NCAA, where student athletes that are bringing in these millions, whatever sport, baseball, football, basketball, hockey, volleyball, golf, water sports, track. Pay these athletes.
Yeah.
Pay them athletes too.
They can't get jobs or nothing.
Can't get jobs. They can't even have their own YouTube.
Yeah.
It was
I saw that.
Yeah, it was a kid at like UCF or USF, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
They made him like cancel his YouTube.
I think it was a punter or something or
punter, special teams.
Yeah.
It's like
they want you to be broke.
The NCAA is the mafia.
Then they selling your jersey with your number on and stuff. Everybody know the jersey for.
I promise they know that number 7 from the year 2014 and 2015 was for Leonard Fournette.
Yeah.
But he can't get his name stitched on it. I guess that's just me looking for.
I think they're making enough money.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, just look at Tiger Stadium, look at Death Valley on Saturday night.
Bro, Death Valley only gets bigger every year.
Yeah, I mean,
I think they put the beer garden out there this year. Oh, it's out there already. It's coming regardless. It's coming regardless.
It's probably. I saw
they talking about putting one out there at A&M too.
Yeah,
which is ridiculous. And I think, and one last thing on the NCAA thing before we wrap this up. Whatever payout happens for the athletes, it needs to be a fair amount, and it needs to be a fair amount across the board. Doesn't matter if. Look at it like this: what sense does it make that LSU athletes would get, let's just say $3,000 a month, and you have Southern University right there on the other side of town, and you say, "Oh, well, that school doesn't bring in that amount of money." Well, no, the NCAA has this money to be able to give wide receiver at the University of Southern $3,000, just like they give a student athlete at Louisiana State University those same $3,000. Like it should be the same across the board. And if y'all gonna let coaches and boosters and everybody else get free vehicles, get certain type of privileges around that town, let it be fair for all across the board. D1, 2, and 3.
It's that greed and stuff, man.
Yeah.
That's just the world we live in. It's just
super greedy.
People just do like the world we live in is just backwards in areas. Mm-hmm. I mean, and the main thing with all that is greed.
Yeah. They
want to line their pockets up and try to keep these people as kids or whatever, but you're gonna set them off the war and stuff,
right?
You know, so I'm like, I never got that. They're old enough to go to war, but they're not old enough to make money for the sport they've been playing all their life too. You know, it's like I don't get it.
Make it make sense.
Yeah, there's no way you can make that make sense.
Exactly. Well, Gabe, this has been fun. This has definitely been fun. I'm definitely glad that we were able to go ahead and get this done. And there's definitely going to be a follow up to this.
I definitely enjoyed this, man.
100%. And one thing that I'm about to start doing on these shows here, I want the guests to be able to say their piece or just wrap anything up with whatever they have going on, or if they want to give out their socials or any websites, whatever they have, or even just positive words they just want to pass along to the people. All yours.
Okay, well, I'd like to thank you, Marty, for giving me the opportunity to be on your platform, using your platform. It's been a pleasure, man. I was a little nervous about this, but we just was talking. We just was running it. So I want to thank you for this. Thank you for just being you, man.
Thank you.
Stay consistent, keep pushing, keep striving. I want to tell everybody else to, keep doing the same. Don't settle. Always push. Strive for greatness, like LeBron saying, trying to use his line. But, just keep striving. And just stay encouraged, man. Do whatever you got to do. Limit your distractions. We can said all that. But, man, you just got to just keep pushing, keep fighting. Somebody is always going through something a little harder. You feel like you're at your lowest. And so just watch your friends. You got to have good relationships. Good friendships are very important. And find your mentor. always strive to be like somebody. You should be striving like somebody in your circle, or striving like somebody older than you, or in a position that you're trying to obtain yourself. And I don't know jealousy or envy stuff, but just because you want better for yourself and you think that person is, a good influence. But I guess I can be followed on Instagram. It's just Gabe. I'm a Nike person.
Mm-hmm. Always.
On Facebook, Gabriel Texada. I might not know some of y'all. So I might sit in the little inbox a little while, but when I get on there. But shout out my wife, Liz, again.
Shout out.
Shout out all the people I mess with. Brandon Wilkinson, Gordon Love, just to name a few.
Yeah.
Just, my mama and daddy. And shout out to my church, the Word Christian Center.
Spread that word.
Love y'all.
Spread that word.
TheWordCC.com. The Word Christian Center on Facebook. And I believe the Word CC on Instagram. But that's all I got, man. I enjoyed it, man. I think it was a great dialogue.
This is special.
It was special, man.
This is special.
We can do this again.
We got to.
I ain't trying to invite myself, but I want to come back.
Nah, man. You are a welcome guest on my platforms.
Yeah.
On my platforms. Whenever we get this thing in full swing, I'm going to have a camera next time, too. I don't know where we're going to hang it or put it up at, but we're going to hang it.
I thought I went and got a haircut just in case I had to get on camera. Get my face cleaned up a little bit.
Straight up.
Been drinking a lot of water, working on my complexion and stuff.
Come on, man. You got to. You got to take care of yourself out here in this weather. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Well, just like you said, get a mentor. That's a beautiful word too, because that's what's needed out here in all communities across the board, especially in the Black community. At the end of the day,
right.
Whether if you look up to a positive rapper, whether if you look up to an athlete, whether if you look up to your next door neighbor, whether if whoever, just carry that flag and carry it on to be better. That's just my message to any community. And like Nipsey say, marathon got to continue.
Marathon continues.
It's got to.
Oh, that's a tough one.
So, Gabe, this was fun, my brother. We're going to do this again. I want to thank everybody for tuning in to this episode of the Perspective Podcast. Once again, I am your host, Marty Lee, a.k.a. Marty Manziel, hanging out here with my guy, Gabriel Texada. This has been fun. It's been lovely. The hat shop is open, finessingsince93.com. You can find hats. You can find buckets. There's a few beanies. There's a few beanies on there. Thank you, my brother. There's a few things on the site right now. We're looking to expand into clothing pretty soon, so that'll be fun. That's a conversation for another day. But until next time, you all, thank you all for tuning in. Like this episode. Share this episode. Send it to a friend. Tell that friend to send it to a friend. And that's how we're going to keep the wheels moving on this thing. Until next time, y'all. Peace.